Hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling. We continue our coverage. This day, we're going to put a very special person in the Nike hot seat, and she's doing everything she can to keep the lights on in the community room there in Colorado Springs. It's Erin Clodgo.
Sorry.
Erin, how are you?
Good. I'm doing actually really good this morning. Scott, you doing good?
I'm doing great, kid. It was so good to watch you in action in Las Vegas. First of all, what did you think of the new facilities?
I liked them. I mean, it was a little bit cooler in there, but I liked it. I liked the setup. I liked how it worked. I think it went great.
I thought the fact that we were all in a reasonable proximity to each other. I liked the total number of seats available. There's so much about it I liked. I wasn't quite comfortable with the fact that it didn't seem like they had enough. What do you call it? A locker room space for the athletes, but perhaps that's
Yeah.
something that we can improve on in the future. So you like the new facility and the presentation. Obviously, you must have liked the outcome, especially at 63 where you were wrestling. You had a lopsided victory in the finals against Amanda Hendy. Take us through the weekend, how you got there, because it seems like it wasn't an easy week, but you sure made it look easy.
Oh, well, thank you. Um, I don't know. For the past couple months, I've really honed in on my training, what I need to get done, and get all my preparation ready, so that when the tournament time came, kind of everything would take care of itself. Like I would have already done all the necessary steps, so that all I had to do was the bare minimum at the tournament, and it would go nice and smoothly.
You're sponsored by the Sunkissed Kids, and you put a notice recently up that I thought was so telling of your personality, and you said, "A little thank you, a little late, but thanks to all my supporters. Thank you, Sunkissed, for taking such good care of me and helping me out with pretty much everything." What did you mean by that?
Well, the Sunkiss Kids like family, like if they're not just sponsors, you know. Like I know Kim very personally, and I've talked to Carmen a lot, and I've worked with Tim too quite a bit, and they're just so like Kim is just so personal. Like I can call her up right now on the cell phone and have like a 5 to 10 minute conversation about how I'm doing, how my week was, how nationals went, and how she's doing, and we can have a really easy conversation. And or if I'm going through like family issues or training's really tough and I might need her help with something like, hey, I might not go to this tournament. Are you going to be okay with that? Or I want to go out to this tournament a couple days early. Will that be okay too? She's very good and just so giving. She really is. Kim
And
just takes great care of me.
so, in other words, it's not just about the wrestling. There's more to it than that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They are all about their athletes and just being there for them 100%. I never thought that my first sponsor and would be like the best one I could probably ever come across.
Ike Anderson. Talk to me about Ike Anderson as a person and a coach.
Ike is my definitely my personal coach. Um, we're close friends. We get along really well. I think that's why we work so well coaching together between coach and athlete. Um, he wants to be more involved with wrestling and women's wrestling and coach have more coaching opportunities. It's just tough right now, so he coaches me, a couple of the other girls, and then he coaches a high school team, and he has a club too, and I help him out with the club.
A very talented coach. We're lucky to have him around, that's for sure. He knows so much about the sport and the what I call interpersonal skills that it takes to be a great and high level wrestler like you are. We're talking, excuse me, we're talking with a very talented 63 kilo champion, Erin Clodgo. She had a lopsided victory over Amanda Hendy. It was a heated battle. If we can talk about it, it was a heated battle for sure. Erin, can you tell us what happened? Because by my recollection and our conversations, our previous conversations, it's not like you guys have had any kind of a throwdown in the past, but it almost came down to it.
Yeah, it did. I honestly, because there hasn't been previous like bad blood or animosity or whatever between us, we are competitors, so there is that. We're still competing for the same spot. But I think just because it was finals and it was intense. Kind of what happened was we were wrestling, and I was in the midst of a takedown, and the ref blew the whistle before I finished, and I just kept finishing. I just decided to finish it. So when we went out of bounds, I didn't get the points clearly because he already tried to break, pause time, and she pushed me off her because she knew that he already blew the whistle and that takedown didn't count. So she pushed me off her, and then I instantly got heated, and then I like stepped to her or kind of took a step to her, and then that's when she pushed me or mushed me in the face, and the ref came in between us, and he didn't see her do that, but he was facing me, and so I got in trouble. I got docked a point.
You got doctor for it. Did that?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was my terrible introduction of you, mispronouncing your name, or something really got in your craw. Maybe you didn't even hear me announce you, but for whatever reason, sometimes I say Clodgo, but obviously that's the way it's spelled, but it's pronounced Clodjo. So I don't know if that got in your craw or what it was, but you were just absolutely on fire from first whistle.
Yeah, I was actually really excited for finals. I was in my after my semis interview, they were asking me how I was feeling, if I was ready, and I was in my head, I was just thinking like, oh, I have to wait a whole nother day to wrestle. Like I can't do it. Like finals are not tonight, and I just want to wrestle right now. Like I was so excited, just wanted to just go out there, waste no time. But that didn't happen, so I had to wait a whole day of excitement and anticipation, and then finally I got to wrestle in the finals. So
So
I
that
was just ready to go from the day before.
you were still fired up.
Yeah.
All right, so going into it, how much work did it take to make 63? What did you do that was different? And staying on balance at 63 seems to me to be a tough weight sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. I had to go kind of be on a specific diet for the last like couple weeks, be a little bit more stricter on myself to get those 2 more kilos down. So instead of like making 65, obviously, which I have been all year, um, lose a couple more kilos, and then it was 63, and then it wasn't a big cut. Um, it still was a little challenging for me, but I rehydrated very nicely, and ate all my foods correctly and not too much, so it went really well. It did.
So
And I would say the biggest change I always make is just I just try and double up my water intake. And from our last time we talked, how much water I drink is a lot. So I try and stay on top of that as much as possible.
water for me would be the hardest thing to not do. I mean, I can pound a bottle of water so quickly. In my condition, obviously, it's probably okay, and feels so good, man. That first drink of water, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
hate it, hate it, hate it. All right, so who gave you the nickname Old Slow? What is it, Old Slow Mo, Claudio?
Slow mo Claudio.
Yeah, who gave you that nickname?
Well, quite a few of the girls just kind of an ongoing joke that they tease me because I'm not the fastest wrestler. If you've known me, or if you've watched a lot of my film or whatever, you can see my reaction time and my speed is not the quickest. We're just saying it nicely, not the quickest. But that doesn't mean it's not like a hard reaction when it does happen, or not. It just is a little delayed sometimes. So when we posted that video, she did it. She made it a little bit in slower motion, and we just whoop, we kind of they were making fun of me after they put it in slow motion,
Yeah.
saying that, oh well, this isn't really slow motion. This is just the same. This is the same natural speed. We'll just say it is in slow motion. So.
Why do you think you have a slow reaction time compared to some? Because it seems as if you're thinking about it more.
um, I mean, I just speed is not my strength. With other wrestlers, that's one of their quickness and agility. Speed is not. It's not my strength. It's not like I would say my weakness. It's not. But my strength is my strength exactly. So it's just kind of every wrestler and every athletes have particular strengths and weaknesses, or where for their sport, and they just have to either excel and like highlight their attributes and work on their weaknesses. But when you highlight your strength and your attribute or whatever, it works a lot better for you than always focusing on your weaknesses and trying to make them better. I mean, it's always important to make them better, but like I said, I'm never going to be a crazy fast super speed wrestler. So working on my speed is always important, but
You are
I
very
wouldn't think that's
strong.
why I'm going to win. Yes.
I mean, you're deceptively strong, slow mo. You are almost scary strong for your size, and everybody that wrestles you, I'm sure, would attest to the strength because you're very deceiving in that regard. U.S. Open obviously is another step toward World Team Trials that comes up here in just a few weeks in Madison, Wisconsin. Are you excited for that?
Of course. That's a silly question. Of course I'm excited. I'm in the finals already. But all I'm saying is I changed a little bit of my training this next few weeks. I gotta make weight and then I have to wrestle 2 hard matches, and sounds arrogant a little bit. But my plan is 2 hard techs and then that's it. I'm on the world team.
You are the queen of it. God dang, that's good. No, I tell you what. Sometimes it's what you, it's the frame of mind you put yourself in. And you said it may sound arrogant. I don't think it sounds arrogant. I think a great athlete sounds confident always in their ability, in their coaches, and in the way. I mean, our conversation today here has been beautiful because it's been all over the place. But I note that there's a certain confidence in how you talk with me, and I love that because that just tells me that you're on track mentally. Physically, I think we all know you're on track. We talked about your strength, so it has to come from somewhere. That it can't be, the 12 years you've been wrestling all by itself. It can't be the fact that you hold down the #1 spot in the U.S. all by itself. I think there's something else here. I think there's probably people in our sport, out of our sport, athletes, academic people that you look up to. Who? If I was to ask you to name 2 or 3 inspirational models, who would they be?
2 to 3 inspirational models. And this is anyone,
Anyone?
not just athletes.
Yeah.
And well, definitely a couple. My like 2 biggest inspirations are my parents.
Hmm.
They are. They just believe in me and have done so much for me for wrestling or from just raising me. I'm still a kid and they're still helping me grow up. Painfully, I say this. Um, but I don't know. Parents are just so amazing, and I'm so grateful and thankful to have such amazing parents. It was just Mother's Day last weekend, and I felt terrible. I didn't do anything for my mother. The best thing I did was just give her a shout out after my finals and just tell her that I love her, and. But I don't know. Parents are just so great for kids, and it's just a shame sometimes. I feel like a lot of kids don't realize it you know, until they're way older and they miss so much time out. How good their parents are and how much parents actually do for their kids. But I would say they're definitely 2 of my biggest inspirations for
I,
for my wrestling and just being a better person and bigger, and better person of myself.
and you said you didn't do anything for her for Mother's Day. I disagree. I think you did something very generous, and that was to share openly that you love her and respect her. And I think that is the greatest gift that a child can give his or her parent is an open and public recognition of the deep and unbiding love that you have for them, and that is very cool.
Well,
Made
thank
me
you.
tear
I
made
would
me
have loved it
tear
done
up there,
more, like
Aaron.
send her a bouquet of flowers or something, but I was busy wrestling.
Yeah, you were busy wrestling. Well, I bet she's awfully proud of you. Well, Kid, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing the next step. Is there competition for you between now and then? Between now and the World Team Trials, is there any competition between now and then?
There was the Pan Am qualifiers in New York. I need. I'm still debating. I need to go to that to qualify my weight for Pan Am Championships in Canada. The Pan Am Games. I apologize if I'm mixing up the names, but at the same time, it's in a short time. It's not that far away. It's like in a week and a half, I think. And it's so close to trials between having to make scratch twice and it being so close to my next peak before Worlds, I'm kind of hesitant on not doing it and just making sure I can focus all my efforts on trials and peaking at the right time. So it's kind of a toss up. I want to go, but at the same time, I'm kind of deciding where I want to put more of my bang for my buck. If that
What?
makes sense.
No, I think it's about level of importance. Where do you see it as a in the level of importance? Is there an official theme song for you?
An official theme song.
Yes. I've
I
I heard that it might be a Princess Big Block sing song. Is that true?
wait, what? Wait, what did you hear? It might be.
Big Block sing song, the Princess Big Block sing song, Disney song. No.
No, I've never heard this. I need to look this up. What did you hear this from?
I'm not. I can't reveal my sources. A good reporter never reveals his or her sources.
I'm gonna
Erin,
have to look this up.
I really appreciate you taking the time today. Congratulations on your victory out there. You made it fun and exciting. The fans
Thank
were
you.
absolutely engaged in your match with Amanda Hendy, as they should be. But I think you turned a lot of people out there who were on the fence as to whether or not they were going to support Erin Clodgo into incredibly supportive fans of not just
I hope
you,
so.
but the way you wrestle. Outstanding job by you there, and an incredible job by you talking with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sky. I appreciate it too.
Anybody you want to thank? Sponsors, club members,
Oh,
coaches? Anybody you want to thank on the way out?
of course. My obviously we talked to give a huge shout out to Kim, Sun Kiss Kids Wrestling. I actually have a new sponsor too. It's Isogenics supplements,
Okay.
and I just recently got. I think they started sponsoring me in November last year. And their supplements, I'm in love with them. They're crazy. I always feel bad because I'm always calling them like, hey, I want some more. Can I get this and that and that? But oh, I love their supplements. They taste great and they're just so healthy for you. And when I go into like my hard diet of the last 2-3 weeks before I have to make scratch, I take a lot of their stuff and I feel great during my diet and my weight cut for 63.
Say the brand
So
again.
Isogenics.
Isogenics. We'll give them one more shout out. Isogenics is the brand of choice by
Hmm.
for Erin Clodgo, and you can pick up Isogenics, I'm sure, online or at a retailer near you. Erin, I'm sure, would be happy if you did just that. You want to be like Erin Clodgo? Isogenics. That's what I'm talking about.
Where all my strength comes from, duh.
Duh. Oh my God, I love talking to
Oh,
you. Erin,
and a huge thank you to my coach, Ike Anderson.
Ike Anderson. Yeah, I gave him a
Yeah,
big hug when I saw him out there. He deserves a lot of them, that's for
he
sure.
does. He does. And he
Thank
does. We work so well together. It's just amazing that I've been lucky enough to find my own personal coach like that I can work that well with.
Well, somebody as good as you are deserves to have as much attention as a coach could possibly give him, and Ike is doing just that. He knows what he's got. One very talented young lady. Good job out of you, kid.
Thank you.
I'll look forward to seeing you. She's 63-kilo champ from the U.S. Open. She's got herself a stop sign, and we're looking forward to seeing her at the World Team Trials. She'll have 2 bouts to wrestle there in Madison, Wisconsin. Join us, will you? I look forward to it. For Erin Clodgo, I'm Scott Casper speaking. Thanks for watching this very special one-on-one as Erin Clodgo has comfortably sat this entire time in the Nike hot seat.